Good day. Good day. It's not even a good day. It's a good night. What am I talking about? Or do you say good day when it's night? When you're saying hello? Is that what you do? I don't know. But it's a good day. And it's a good night. And I'm here. And I'm late. And I don't think anyone's going to show up because they don't even know I'm here. They just don't know about the stream because it was only listed about 5 minutes ago. Which is not the way you're supposed to do it. Oh, there is somebody here. Degogus is here. Hello there. Hello. I am surprised people found out because I only listed this about 10 minutes ago. Because I've been messing about with computers and messing about with stuff always takes longer than you think it's going to take. Let's put the tune on. Battle Squadron. Hopefully it's not too loud. I don't think it's too loud, is it? We'll see. They're all different volumes, all these tunes anyway. Let's put the display on. We've got to get the display. This is one of those mixed tunes, so it doesn't sound as good as they normally do. Which is the one? Hippo? No. That's a good one. Hipposcope. Let's try that one, that's alright. Sherlock! Hello. I was so confused. It's Lockmon Goat as well. Good evening. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good day, whatever. Yeah, Sherlock. I was so confused about the lemmings. I really didn't know what was going on. And here they are. I don't know if you can see them. These little dudes here. Hang on. I've got a bigger display of them. Hang on. There we go. These little dudes. Oh, this camera has stopped. This camera is useless. It's frozen. Like, the camera's frozen. But anyway, nothing's changed. That's the lemmings there. Nothing has changed. But yeah, I was so confused about these lemmings that Carnival Steve sent me. So if anybody doesn't know, Sherlock's daughter crochets lemmings, and they are absolutely awesome. There's no point me. I'll pick it up on the big camera because it's absolutely that camera just keeps freezing. It's not the camera. It's the little what do you call it? Little cruddy USB stick thing that I use. Here we go. Here we go. There he is. How awesome is this little guy? The Goga says, I caught the stream notification when scrolling the main page. Yeah, it's only been there for a few minutes. Sherlock, you were confused as well. Hello! Ollie, hello. Cute Lemmings figures. Yes, they are. These are handmade little figures. And there's not only that, there's the blocker. You got a blocker. And I wish that they don't stand up very well. I am putting them on the Amiga, but that camera's frozen, so you're not seeing it. And this guy's pretty cool as well. How cool is that? And I don't know if you can see in the background. It'll be quite small in the background, but over there on the picture, there's a bridge builder, and the is it miner or digger? He's the miner, isn't he? Up there. He's building a bridge off the end of the Amiga 500, which is pretty cool. So I have to thank both. I do have to thank both you and Carnival Steve for these. I don't know if Carnival Steve's here. Those lemmings are totally giving it rice. Yes, they are. It's a thing. So yeah, I was just so confused when I opened the box and I was like, wait a minute, I've seen these guys before, and I made the complete wrong assumption about what was going on. Really confused. But they are absolutely awesome. What can I say? What can I say? Lemmings. I just never thought... I mean, I'd said that in my community post, but I never thought that when I was playing Lemmings back in the day, which I didn't really play the whole game back in the day, I think. I never really thought that, you know, like 30 years later... I'd be sitting there playing it all again on a live stream, all the way through, and have crocheted lemmings as well. Yeah, I was wondering if Steve's going to turn up because I've got news about his computer. Not bad news, just news. That's why I'm so late. I've been looking at another type of computer, a Sinclair. I feel dirty for touching it, but my God, those things are cheap. I thought Commodore stuff was cheap, but Sinclair is it's a new level of cheap. They are super cheap. I suppose once you've looked at a Sinclair product, the Amiga computer looks like a mid-range computer instead of a low-end computer. Yeah, it's the ZX81, and unfortunately, spoiler, I couldn't get it going. But that's not because I don't think that's because of the ZX81. It's because I couldn't find. That's why this is called the RF modulated stream. Actually, I couldn't find anything to output the RF modulated video. I've got an old video recorder, and I thought I could do that because I saw there's a channel called Retro RGB, and he just posts stuff about getting old stuff working. Like it's all about like getting good quality images and things like that. And he did a video, and one of the quick things in it was like, oh, you just need to get composite video out, and you've only got RF. Well, you can just stick it through a video recorder. So that's what I thought. But the problem is, the video recorder would output a picture eventually after doing 3 different capture devices, but I couldn't get it to output anything, and then I plugged a Commodore 64 into it, and that didn't work either. So I just couldn't. I haven't got a single thing that can produce the old-fashioned RF, input. I don't have anything left that will do that anymore. But yeah, I think I'm going to mod it, but I wanted to just see it working first before I start modding it, because otherwise it's got no LED light on it, and without an actual RF modulator, you cannot even tell if it's on. That's the problem. There's not even a power light. It's not got an on switch. It doesn't have a power light. If you plug it in, you don't even know what it's doing. So I wanted to just see it on first because I've been told that it works, and it probably does, but I actually don't know. But failing just getting an oscilloscope out and probing it to find out if it's actually on, I just wanted to see a picture on the screen, and I couldn't get that far. So I don't know what I'm going to do from here. But there you go. But yeah, I figured it'd be easy mod anyway because it's black and white, isn't it? Not that I've seen a picture from it yet. And if it's black and white, there isn't much to compose in black and white anyway, is there? It's just the Luma signal. So I imagine that's quite an easy thing. If you have a VCR to use it, yeah, that's what I tried. And oh my God, it just failed. Katrina, good morning. Morning? Good morning. It's not more. It might be morning for you actually. I bet you it is morning actually. Good morning. Yeah, I tried the VCR. It didn't work. I don't even know if the VCR is like digital RF or something. I haven't got a clue. It's not really morning. Oh, okay. It's probably nearly morning though. I started the stream by saying good day or good night, so I'm confusing myself now. Good day, good night, good evening. Yeah, so I've got a VCR. That's the only thing I've got, and I couldn't get it. I could get the VCR to output a blue screen saying AV, but I couldn't get any pictures to come through. I couldn't get it to convert for me. It didn't want to do it. I just fiddled with camera stuff, and now I feel it feels like Monday morning. That's not a good feeling, unless you really want that Monday morning. Hey, it's cannon fodder. Probably setting in VCR then. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's actually not my VCR. I borrowed it a while back to convert some videotapes, which I managed to do. And it's been under a bed for a while. And it seems like reasonably modern-ish one. It's got like 3 SCART outputs on it and stuff. You have to tell it to use antenna input. I've got no remote control for it. And it's got very few controls on the front. It's got channel, play, eject, stop. Rewind, fast forward, that's it. Very few buttons. It's got 4 inputs on it, I think. 4 extra inputs. Or is it 3? 3 or 4. So it's quite fancy. But it didn't work. It didn't work. I'll show you the... How do I get Hippo Player working on an Amiga 500? Well, you download it from Aminet, and I don't know, actually. I've not tried. Does it work on the Amiga 500? You mean on Workbench 1.3? I've not tried it. I don't know. Without remote control, probably nearly impossible to do it. Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. Where do you get your music from for HippoPlayer? It's from modarchive.org. This is all from modarchive.org, which is, you can actually play all this stuff directly in modarchive.org. You don't really need an Amiga to do it. But you download a lot of the stuff and yeah, it's all on there. I think all of this came from there. No remote is not good. That is a good point. Let me just check that. I just need to check that I haven't actually got the remote. Let me just check. No, there is no remote. Don't have it. I do not have it. Anyway, I failed. That's all I can say. I failed. My VCR has timestamps that get embedded in every video, and you can only disable them on the remote. Well, I just couldn't do anything. I mean, you can play, stop, fast forward, rewind, record, change, and you can change the channel, which is the input channel. Or is that output channel? That is the input channel. But it doesn't have an option for RF. But it's got an RF in. So I don't know. I couldn't figure out how to get a picture out of it anyway. I could play a videotape on it, but I couldn't get the RF to do anything. Which is the problem. That's the problem. My VCR, oh no, I've read that one. Got Hippo on my A600. Yeah, I've got it on mine as well. It works pretty much exactly the same. It works the same on the 600. I've got it working in Workbench 2 on the 600, so it definitely works in Workbench 2. You'll probably need at least Kick 2 to make Hippo work. Then you can also easily boot Workbench 1.3 from hard disk. Yeah, I think the Amiga's... The 500 does support Workbench 2, doesn't it? So there's nothing stopping you putting a Kickstart 2 in there. I don't know that though. I do not know. Here it is. Look how small that thing is. Here's what I was trying to get working. God damn. Look what they did as well. This is evil. I mean, I know this thing was like 60 quid or something. Firstly, only got an RF out. Secondly, the other 3 ports are all 3.5mm jacks. That includes, so that's it's audio out, audio in, and the power port. They're all the same. That is evil. Absolutely evil. I do not know what happens if you accidentally plug the power into the ear or mic port. But that's a possibility with this thing. Evil. I mean, obviously it's a cost-saving thing, isn't it? Because why put a barrel jack on it when you're already buying 3.5mm jacks, so just put another one on. I mean, it works. I think it works. I will see in a minute what Hippo Player kick it needs. It does tell you, there is a document on there, it'll tell you what it needs. So, I don't know, I've not tried it on 1.3. To be honest, I've absolutely hardly used the Amiga 500 because the 1200 and 600 have kind of just replaced it for me. They did back in the day. I used the 500 a lot, and then when the 600 came along, I didn't use the 500 again, really. But I think a 500 with a hard drive and stuff and Kickstart 2 is probably pretty decent. I will see in a minute. Oh, sorry. I stuck a Kickstart 1.3 into an A600. It's decided it's an A500 now. Does that work? Does that actually work? That's pretty cool. You can put You can put 1.3 in an A600. Well, I didn't know that. That's a thing. There you go. It works fine. Just runs all the games for you. Suppose. Oh yes. Do some people put a switcher in there? Do they, to switch between 1.3, so you can just play all the stuff that doesn't work on the 600, which isn't much, really, is it? I don't think it's much. How does it work with ECS chipset then? Kickstart 1.3. I would suspect that the ECS chipset is made to be backwards compatible anyway. I would think. The AGA chipset, they went to some extent to make it backwards compatible as well. So I would suspect that it would just work. Like I know the AGA chipset, this isn't ECS, but I know AGA will just boot up in certain modes to try and make it compatible with the previous chipset. So it won't turn on 32-bit DMA. It'll have 16-bit DMA on by default. You have to go in and enable 32-bit DMA if you want it. So it does stuff like that. So ECS might be the same, but again, you might get some incompatibilities because certain programs would write to it incorrectly because they're assuming something. 1.3 not working AGA chipset. What's that? Is the Paul chip in an A500 Plus used for sound music? It's used for sound, but it's also used for other stuff as well. It stands for Paul stood for, what is it? Ports, audio, UART, and something else. It actually does quite a lot. I believe an Amiga won't boot without a Paul chip because it is doing something. I can't remember what all the functions it does, but it's going to be controlling. It might be controlling the floppy. Is it partially? It does quite a lot of stuff actually. But it is sound, but it's kind of like input-output chip. You've got a clicking. Excuse me. Where's my water? See, this is how unorganised I am today. I had water and I've lost it. I've totally lost it. I'm gonna need that. You've got a clicking. You sure it's not the? Sure it's not the floppy drive? That's an odd one. It might not be the. It might not be the Polar. It could be the. I suppose you've recapped it, have you? It could be the caps. I don't think the caps would do a click. They might do. Old Hippo player will work from Kickstart 1.2. Wow. Still getting mods on floppy sounds like a pain. Still trying to find out which kick needs new Hippo player. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't tried it on anything below 2. Let me find my water. I don't know where it's gone. I've totally lost it. Anyway, I was hoping Carnival Steve Somerset Carnivals and Adventures would show up and I could tell him about his ZX81 and how I didn't get it working. Very loud. Ordered a new Polar chip and caps. Oh, has it not been recapped? There's a couple of caps. There's at least 2 caps on there that do the op amp for the audio. Could be those. Actually, I'm not as familiar with the A500, so I'm thinking about the 600 and the 1200. I'm assuming it's similar, I don't know. I just don't know. But if it's not been recapped, the caps can affect the audio quality. So it could be that. Oh, is the 500 Plus got... It's not got surface mount caps in it, has it? Or is it more like the 500 than it's like the 600? Because I haven't recapped my 500 because it was working fine. And to be honest, even when I recapped this 1200, I don't think the sound was that bad on it. The composite video output was knackered though. Oh, the through holes. They're probably alright, but I don't think it's that. I say probably because there's always that probably that they might be bad. I saw that thing about with Adrian's Digital Basement, and he was doing a talk about, you know, when you say, oh, there's something wrong with the computer, and the first thing you think is it's the caps, but he says it's almost never the caps. But the problem is until it is the caps, because they can still cause a problem. So, but audio, yeah, I don't know about a clicking. I think you'd just get distorted audio. I don't think you'd get a click, but you might get a click. I don't know. I'd also try a different like amp that you're listening to, because maybe it's that. Maybe you're creating the click. Have you tried a different amp? Oh, it did have battery damage. Oh, okay. Well. I don't know how, if the battery damage could cause damage to make it click but make it still work. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I've not had any sound problems on any Amigas, I think. Even the ones that needed recapping just seemed to work. Floppy drives, yes, they seem to break. Had that Amiga 600 I bought that didn't have a working RAM chip. It was that. Floppy drives seemed to be the worst thing, definitely. And the caps were definitely all gone on this 1200. But like I said, it was still booting. It still worked. I'd have to check my video. But it was just the composite video that didn't work. Well, it did work. You could still see the picture, but again, it was really distorted. It was like really washed out. Which is, I think, is what it'd do to the audio. It'd kind of wash it out and be quiet, probably. Had a power supply, no 12 volts, didn't have the clicking. Well, I suppose if you've no 12 volts, is it the minus 12? Is it the 12 and the minus 12 they use for the op amp? So yeah, maybe that's... Yeah, it could be a power supply as well. But if you've got no 12 volts, you shouldn't get any audio at all, should you? Do you get no audio? I mean, there's a good chance your Amiga will pretty much boot up and work without the 12 volts. There are some floppy drives that need the 12 volts, but a lot of them don't use it. They use the 5 volts instead. But the 12 volts, I'm pretty sure, is used for the op amp for the audio. So without the 12 volts, you won't get anything. Very low. Is that is the audio output very low? Is that what you're saying? Because that might indicate caps. I think you'd get very quiet audio, but it might be distorted as well. I think the audio would start getting quieter and quieter. Maybe it is the caps. Hey, who knew? Who knew? Yeah, find out which two caps are the... it'd be more than two maybe, but find out which caps are the audio ones and just replace those two. Don't go crazy. I would start there. But then again, I've not booted up my 500 for so long that maybe the caps are leaking in it right now. The new Hippo player needs to be installed on a hard disk, so you pretty much need Kick 2 to auto boot from a hard disk. That's a good point, actually. How did Amiga 1.3 even boot from a hard disk? Because you could get a hard disk for that, couldn't you? You could get a hard disk that you stuck on the side of a 500. I never had one though, so I couldn't tell you how they worked. Let me see if I can get this other camera working. It's named Crappy USB Stick in OBS. Doesn't seem to want to work. I think I'm gonna have to get a new little. It doesn't want to. It's gone now completely. Oh, the lemmings have gone now. The lemmings have gone. Come on, you can do it. Come back to life. No, it's back. Oh yeah, the camera's back. Whoa, look, knocked a lemming over. This is exactly what they do. Right, let's see. I'll show you the lemmings now. There they are. There's the little dudes on the Amiga. Blocking the vents. Causing trouble as usual. Causing trouble. God's music brill. Correct. Correct. Because Kick 1.3, you need floppies to boot with configuration which makes computer boot with hard disk. Oh, right. Right. Well, I didn't know that. So you had to boot from a floppy to get the hard disk to go. Crazy. I boot my Amiga ACA 500. Is that a thing? Or card inside installed bench 1.3. Crazy. Sherlock says they look great. They do. With every boot, you need to boot floppy to boot for boot your OS from hard disk, which is incredibly funny. Yeah, that is. I didn't know that. I didn't know that because I never had one. I didn't know Amiga 500s couldn't do that. Oh well. And I suppose did they ever make a bolt-on hard drive for the Amiga 1000? Because that was basically Amiga 500 anyway, wasn't it? They probably didn't make one for the 1000, did they? I bet they started making it when the 500 came out. Oh, we've got God's remix. Let's skip this because we just had God's. And we're going to skip that one and that one. I love the way we've got Mario. Wow, it's so loud. We've got Mario on here for some reason. Oh, Space Debris. We always have this one. Because you've got to. You've just got to. I don't even know if we're going to play any games today. We should do. Should play some games at some point. From a real Amiga this time. None of this Amiga Mini rubbish. None of that Amiga Mini rubbish. None of that. But yeah, I'm just coming on to tell you about my woes with the ZX81. Also, and this is also, before I plugged it in, because it's not mine, I thought, well, it's got this old Sinclair power supply. Where is it? Oh, I've just locked in with the cable. Aha! Here it is. Look at this piece of dung. Sinclair. I mean, what were they doing? It's just black, isn't it? I don't want to drop a Sinclair power supply on my Amiga. ZX power supply. And oh my god. Why would you put one of these on? Why would you even do that? You evil... Well, I know why they've done it. It's because it's cheap. You evil people. But I tested this. It's supposed to be a 9-volt power supply. It's producing 15 volts. I don't know if that's because it's not loaded, but I didn't want to risk plugging it in because it sounded a bit high. I'm pretty sure that the ZX81's got a 5-volt regulator inside, but I don't know what it's rated for. So either way, this is producing 6 volts more than it should have done, which didn't seem right to me. So it's possible that it would be, you know, it might work, but it might be cooking one of the regulators if I plugged that in. 15 sounds slightly out of spec. That's what I thought. I didn't plug it in. Sounds a bit too far. It's like 50%. No, it's 66% out of spec. So that seems like wrong. It seemed really wrong. Anyway, I didn't use it. But I think Steve, where he said it tested this and it worked, so he must have plugged it in with that and it did work. But I suppose it depends on how long you run it for. It might just start cooking it. And if something goes wrong, I don't know. So I didn't use it. I got a 9-volt power supply. I had to wire a stereo jack to it. I still can't tell if it even booted up because there's no power light. So I'd have to open it up and like literally probe the chips to find out. So that's rubbish. And then I couldn't get the picture out anyway. But yeah, I haven't plugged that power supply into it because it just seems wrong. But like I said, it was 15 volts unloaded. I imagine that would come down a bit if it was loaded, but not not to 9 volts. I don't like Amiga Mini. I think it's all right actually. It's just an emulator really, so it's just a fun. It's more like a toy. It's not like a real Amiga to me. It's more like a little toy. But I've been playing it a bit. I was playing some Project X. I actually plugged it into my, because I've got an Xbox One downstairs, the original Xbox One, and I wanted to plug it in and just have it come out of a monitor. I've got a monitor plugged into it, but the monitor's got no sound. So I thought, I know, the Xbox One's got a thing where you can plug HDMI into it. You remember the TV thing that they did when they launched it? You're supposed to be that you could plug your TV into it and watch TV through the Xbox. So I did that, and I had an Amiga Mini plugged in through the Xbox, and I was playing that for a bit. Played a bit of Project X, but it only worked for a little while. And now when I boot it up, it just doesn't work. I don't think it's providing enough power to the Amiga Mini, so I'll have to find somewhere else to put it. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. The joypad is a bit rubbish, but there you go. And also, it was modelled. It looks like it's modelled after the CD32 pad, but not CD32. Yes, is it CD32? Yeah, it's modelled after the CD32 pad. And I said I didn't like it because it doesn't have the corners in the D-pad. And I looked at the CD32 one, and that does have them. So they just changed it, and I don't know why. They changed it to make it worse than the real Amiga one. Don't know why they did that. Weird. There is no excuse for that. So if you have Workbench 3.1, you also have Kick 3.1. So you should just use a CF card to copy files from your Aminet, and then just using an install instruction. Yeah, that's what I've got here. That is a compact flash card. Well, you're trying to get it working on a 500, aren't you? You won't have a compact flash card, but I'm just copying stuff over with that. Must try again, set up Hippo Player. Yeah, well, I made a video about it saying how not to set up Hippo Player. It took me ages just to overwrite some files. I did it really badly. But I put the video out just to show you that sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. Speaking of Specky, I received my Next the other day. Dumped the package somewhere in my shop. I am awful. What's that? Is that Kickstarter thing that happened? I don't know what it's called. I am just waiting for the maxi. Oh. Was that the Kickstarter Spectrum? Unsupported module type. Oh, it's Xenon 2. I also did fail to get my get WHD load working on the Amiga Mini, so I haven't been back and tried that yet. Yep, the brand new shiny Spectrum Next. Is that what it's called? Spectrum Next. I didn't know the name of it. Sherlock bought a Beam, meanwhile RT50 for my A500. Following your YouTube tutorial, mine was faulty. Said it. Really? Faulty? Oh my word. Oh well. They're supposed to be very reliable. I mean, I've had like 2 or 3 of them. No, I think I've had 3 now, and they're all fine. I'm using one right now. No voltage. Oh well, at least it was dead. They're supposed to fail safe. They're supposed to, they won't over voltage and they won't over current. They've got protection for it. So maybe it decided it wanted to fail safe, which is good. I don't think that's what that Spectrum power supply will do. That will just send everything straight into the computer. I'm sure that's what it'll do. It'll just go, okay, I've failed. Right, what's my input voltage? 15 volts. Let's put that right through. No problem. That took me like 4 years or so. Oh, what, to get your Spectrum Next? Fits really good in the case. Yeah, they do fit really good in the case. I think the one I've got down here, it's not in my adapter board, because when I made that adapter board, I thought all the power supplies were the same, and they're not. But the one I've got, it just happens to, you jam it in and it just kind of holds it. So it didn't need the board anyway, really. And I've got the one I've got upstairs. It's got like a fan on it. It's the one I put the fan on. So it's like, did it need a fan? No, but I put it on anyway. I got some pretty shiny Amiga PSUs from eBay a few years ago. They are lovely, with a display and such. But the things get seriously hot, I have doubts. Oh yeah. The meanwhile does get a little bit hot, but not seriously hot. Like I said, I did on my board. I did do the thing where you could wire in a. Well, I've wired a 12-volt fan into the 5 volts, so it runs pretty slow. But I'm really not sure that it needs it. They seem to be able to passively cool quite well. But I'd say RT50B is the way to go. It's the way to go. And like I said, I haven't powered my Amigas with anything but those since I got them back out again, I think. Maybe I've powered them with the main power supply for a little bit. Although the power supplies are probably alright. I've got one up there in bits. They're probably fine. Probably. I like more playing on real hardware than on the Mini. Still good option for people that just don't want to pay increasingly higher prices for the Amiga. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that for me, it just seems like a different experience. Like the Amiga to me, this is a computer. I'm using a computer now. Look, it's got a keyboard. I'm doing Workbench. I've got stuff. I'm playing music. Right, that's pretty cool. You know, and I can do Octamed on it and stuff like that. And but the Amiga Mini is just a games console at the end of the day, isn't it? So that's a different experience. It's a fine experience. It's just a different one. So it doesn't. For me, the Amiga always felt like a computer. I probably did more computey stuff back in the day on the Amiga than I did gamey stuff. So for me, it felt like a real computer, and the Amiga Mini doesn't feel like that. It feels like a games console. So that's why I think I would say that the best one of those minis is probably the Mega Drive, because that was a games console, and the Mega Drive Mini feels like a Mega Drive Mini. It feels like a Mega Drive. So I haven't got one of those, but they are unavailable now. But they are really quite cool. And the SNES Mini is very similar as well. SNES was a little console, and the SNES Mini plays the same. It's just as good. So they changed the Amiga Mini changes the experience to a different one. It's just not a bad one. It's just a different one. And the Mega Drive Mini and the SNES are, I feel like, the real thing. So, but the Mega Drive is such a great console anyway. So, Me Too Gaming real hardware devices. Yep. Think the Amiga will power it with just 5 volts? It probably will. There's a chance your floppy drive won't work, like I said, and your sound won't work. And also if you're using the serial or parallel port, I think they have 12 volts going to them, so your serial and parallel devices might not work. That's if they use the 12 volts, because they get 5 as well. But yes, some of the floppy drives use 12 volts. I say some, but I think most don't. So most of the floppy drives will work. I think you just won't get any sound. So yeah, you could probably just power it with 5 volts. It won't. I don't think it'll do any harm. I don't think it'll do any harm. I don't even know what this tune is. It's by Dr. Awesome. But you're going to need that 12 and that minus 12 at some point. If you want your super sound. Is this camera still working? Oh, it is. It's on the go. So yeah, I've been delving into the world of Spectrum, but not Spectrum. It's not a Spectrum. It's the Spectrum's predecessor, the ZX81. But I got nowhere. It's going to be a weird video because the video recorder is so big and this room is so small. I couldn't even get most of it on the camera. So I might have to skip out all that and just go straight to the like. Well, actually, what is there I can get to turn RF modulated video into composite that's just another VCR? Just another VCR. That's probably what I need. I need a VCR that will do it, because the one I've got won't. I'm playing Dungeon Master lately on Amiga. I didn't think that it would be so good. Like, whole day I played Dungeon Master. Wow. Did I ever play Dungeon Master? I don't think I did. I played all those. I think I've got them out on the stream before. I played all the gold box games, like 5 or 6 of the gold box games, but I played them all on the Commodore 64. By the time I got to the Amiga, I know one of my friends at the time was playing the same game on the Amiga. I just didn't have an Amiga at that point because I couldn't afford one, I think. So I played it on the Commodore 64. I would watch you play some Dungeon Crawl like Dungeon Master or Eye of the Beholder. Yeah, those two I haven't played though. I'd never played Eye of the Beholder. I played back in the day. I played Pool of Radiance, Curse the Azure Bonds. What's the other one? Secret of Silver Blades. And what were the other ones? Champions of Kryn, Death Knights of Kryn. And something else. It's Carnival Steve! Somerset Carnivals and Adventures. Hello. I was hoping you'd turn up, because I've got news for you. It's not bad news, but it's not good news. It's just news. I don't know if you've... Oh, wow. It's the Delta tune. I'm going to skip this one. It's really loud. Oh, what is this? Some kind of... Late on the parade. Yeah, well, I started the stream late because I was messing about with the ZX81. Hey! So I've started making a video about the ZX81. Oh, I love the way we've got Carnival Steve and Sherlock together, because I was so confused about what was happening the other day between you two, but apparently there was nothing going on, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll show you the lemmings. The lemmings are here. Hang on. Where is the... Here we go. Some of the lemmings are here. I've got the normal lemming, the blocker, and the floaters over here. And when the camera gets big in a minute, you'll see that on the picture, on the Amiga picture in the background, the bridge builder and the digger are on the Amiga, are on top of the Amiga canvas, painted by Stu. Let's go. Sherlock says, that's all my power supply had until I fixed it. 12 and minus 12 missing. Broken wires and... Oh, and now all I get is clicking. Are you definitely getting the 12 and minus 12? Because you need those for the sound. Carnival Steve says, broken it. I have not broken... Well, I don't think I've broken it. I've not broken it yet. Thanks for buying them, yeah. Katrina's going to send you a DM, a Dungeon Master. A DM. There is also Amiga-only dungeon crawler made by Raven Software, really, called Black Crypt. It's their first game. I did not know that. So Raven started on the Amiga. I did not know that. Oh, a Discord message. I see. I thought you meant a Dungeon Master. Yeah, I keep closing Discord a lot, and I'm not on it as much because I'm doing stuff like this. I always close it to save memory and stop it popping up stuff, and I've not been on the Discord as much as I would like. Carnival Steve, Somerset Carnivals Adventures, that was indeed the most random thing that happened in a while. It's a small world. It really is. Yeah, look what I've got here. So for anybody who doesn't know, Carnival Steve sent me the ZX81. He sent me this baby. Oh, I just started making a video about it before. So, my big problem, I just wanted to see it working. So my big problem is I don't have anything that can accept RF input. I've got a TV upstairs, a 42-inch TV, but it's got digital tuner in it, I think. I've never used it. I've never used the tuner because I don't really watch TV, or at least not in the last 20 years or whatever. So yeah, I don't plug it. I don't plug an out, but I think that's a digital tuner. Yeah, I've got an old video recorder that got out, so I was going to patch it through a video recorder so I could see it through that, and I just couldn't get it to show any picture. And I don't think it's because of that. I'm not sure though, but it's because I just couldn't get the video recorder to output anything from the RF. I plugged a Commodore 64 into it. I couldn't get that to show anything either. So that's where I'm up to with that. But also, and this is the also, I measured the voltage on this thing. This is supposed, you know, this thing, this goddamn horrible connector on this power supply. I measured the voltage on this and it's 15 volts. It was 15.2 volts. It's a 9-volt power supply. So I didn't plug it in, let's put it that way. So I've got a 9-volt like wall wart plug power supply that I had to wire in a stereo jack. I'm not sure if the wire I've made is capable of carrying the correct current, because some of those wires are very thin. They're meant for audio, they're not meant for power. So I don't want to use that power supply because it's producing way too much voltage. So it probably, and this is, I've said this before, I'm sorry for everyone I'm repeating, but this is Carnival Steve stuff. It probably will work, and I say probably because I haven't looked internally in the ZX81, because I think it's must have a 5-volt regulator in there somewhere, because the thing doesn't run on 9 volts. It certainly doesn't run on 15. But it might just be cooking the regulator a bit more than it should, so it might be getting hotter than it should. But either way, the power supply is out of spec anyway, so it might be. You don't know what else is wrong with it. I think the problem is that if it just uses a resistor or something to get the voltage, and I think they drift. They can just go wrong every time. What's this? Amb power. Let's get this one. Lock mode go. It says, hey Steve. Carnival Steve says, it does work on RF currently, albeit very poorly. I managed to get a very weak signal showing the classic flashing K cursor. Yeah, I didn't even get that far because I couldn't get anything that could decode the RF. Haven't opened it up or anything. I just wanted to see it running to start with, just to make sure that it runs. But I had to wire my own power supply in it. I didn't want to cook it with that 15-volt power supply, which would be wrong, I think. So my recommendation would be, I haven't like altered the power supply or anything, but my recommendation would probably be not to use that power supply. I think, because I think it's had its day. It has only been booted up about once in 25 years though. Been spending the last quarter of a century in my mum's garage in a cupboard. Oh, well, there you go. So, I mean, it probably works. I think they're so simple inside, it probably works unless they made the chips badly, like Commodore did. But yeah, the power supply for some reason has probably gone out of spec. So, like I said, I'm wiring in a 9-volt power supply, but I've had to wire in an audio cable because they used a 3.5mm jack. Good lord, an awful idea. So I don't know if it's passing enough current, but they didn't even put an LED on it to tell you that the thing's on. There's no power switch, there's no LED. I've got to say, I kind of disagree with that. They could have put an LED on, or maybe, could they? Yeah, they could have put an LED on. Not having an LED is really stupid. You can't tell the thing's on. So I couldn't even tell if my power supply was working. But anyway, it's super cheap, let's put it that way. I mean, an LED would have raised the cost. They were selling it for £70, were they? Yeah, LEDs cost money, man. Well, they would have cost a lot more back then as well. Like, they're pretty cheap now, but yeah, an extra LED could have added, like, 20 pence to the price or something. It's a classic though, so Clive knew better. He knew how to make stuff cheap, let's put it that way. It's definitely cheap. The fact that the power connector is a 3.5mm jack is that is cheap, because they put two 3.5mm jacks on for the earphone and microphone, and then they thought, well, we need a power supply. Oh, let's just put the same one on, because then they can get it cheaper by buying like the same connector in bulk, can't they? We're not made of leads, no. Oh, the screw's plastic. I don't think so. I think the screws are metal, but they'll be screwed into the plastic. But then Commodore did that as well. I don't know. I can't see the screws actually. You're joking? Well, I don't know. Are they plastic? They shouldn't be. They couldn't have done plastic screws. No, they are metal. They are definitely metal. Oh, I can see I think I can see a bolt there. It's probably. I think I can see the voltage regulator underneath. But yeah, I failed. I failed to get it to power. Well, I don't know. I may have powered it up, but I can't tell. I can't even tell. At least Commodore forked out for a LED on the Commodore 64. They were like, we're going the extra mile. We're going to put an LED on this with a wire. That's a good point. The wire costs extra, and you got to put a connector on that, and somebody's got to connect it up in the factory. So there is actually quite a big cost to the LED. I thought, how has my daughter got Dave's address? Didn't know she made some. Some have gone to America and Canada. Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's all. That's about all the lemmings. Yeah. There's been a confusion over who the lemmings and how they got here, but basically, Carnival Steve and Sherlock got me the lemmings, I will say. But mostly Carnival Steve did it. But he didn't make them. Dagogo says, but even if they're cheap, I really like the design of the Sinclair machines. I mean, you can't fault him for what he did. He sold 1.5 million of those things because it was a 70 quid computer in 1981, and that is pretty amazing. It's got a full 1 kilobyte of RAM as well. I think it was the Z80 that had the plastic clip screws. It could be, I don't know. Z80 is its predecessor, isn't it? So yeah. Jimbo says, I think you can do a composite mod on the ZX81. Yeah, I would like to do that because, wow, what a pain it is to plug in. But I just wanted to see it working before I started messing about with it. I wanted to see that it was doing something. I mean, I could probe it with an oscilloscope to make sure that it's working, but I just wanted to see the picture. And I think I'd still like to do that. I'd like to plug it in, just see that it works, and then see about the composite mod. I think that composite mod would be worth it because what a pain. What an absolute pain to plug that thing in. Ronnie Goat says, did all the lemmings make it to Canada or did any jump out of the plane? Well, these guys don't know what they're doing. The Great Hadouken says, good morrowings. Good morrows. This is called Amiga Machines. Katrina says, right, 5 minutes till it's actually morning, so I better fall over and pass out. Lots of cooking to do tomorrow. Are you fall over and pass out because you're tired or because you're drunk? You are probably tired, I would say. Or you could be both. But yeah, it's obviously 5 minutes to the witching hour where you are. I was going to say, I thought Germany was only 1 hour ahead. It is only 1 hour ahead. I thought it's only the hour. See ya. Lockman Goat says, does it have a cartridge slot? Is it an innie or an outie? It does have, the ZX81, it does appear to have a slot on the back. I think you can put extra RAM on it. It's not really a cartridge slot. It's what you call it, an edge connector, like on the, it's on like on the user port on the C64, and same as similar to the, it's probably more similar to the user port on the Commodore 64. It's an edge connector because that's cheap because you just print it onto the PCB, and I think you can put more RAM on it. Carnival Steve says, we did have the 16 kilobyte extended RAM somewhere, but over time it's been lost. Probably find it in about another 25 years. I mean, I can't imagine that I'm going to do anything that's going to require more than a kilobyte. So, because I don't know what you do with this, but oh my god. Yeah, it looks like it's got... Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, it looks like it's got an edge connector in there, PCB edge connector. I don't know if you can see that. So that's where you'd stick the RAM, and then you can stick an extra RAM thing in there. So that's like a CPU connector or something. Or a bus connector, so you can connect, I don't know. I don't know, don't know enough about it, to be honest, but definitely wasn't going to have like a cartridge port like on the C64, because that's got like a proper, well, it's got an edge connector and a cartridge port. Cartridge ports cost money, and somebody's got solder that thing on, and this thing was being built for 60 quid, and it was 70 quid and 50 quid if you built it yourself. OG Hugo says, hey, Dave, did you get RT4K? What is RT4K? Am I missing out something? Did I get RT4K? I don't know what that is. So I'm going to say no because I don't know what it is, but maybe if you can expand that, I might know what that is. Oh, RetroTink 4K. Aha. No. I actually want... I don't really want a RetroTink 4K, although it would be nice. I looked at getting a RetroTink 2... Is it called the 2X Pro? Just to connect the Commodore 64 to. And you just can't get them. They're out of stock. So there you go. I think the RetroTink 4K is out of stock as well. I did actually look at buying a RetroTink 2X Pro. Because I've got an OSSC for the LGB, so I don't really need that. But something to get the Commodore 64 going, or things for composite video, would be nice. And can't seem to buy them. Like one guy said, we could use it to program the light show on our Broken Sword Carnival cart. Yes! Can you imagine that? The Broken Sword Carnival cart, all the lights being controlled. Not by a Raspberry Pi. Oh no, that's way too powerful. But by a ZX81. I mean, it could probably do it. It's got a Z80 in it. It runs at 4 megahertz. I suppose it's addressing all the lights is going to be the problem. You'd have to like multiplex it. It could take a while. Remember, we've only got a kilobyte of RAM to write that code in as well. Jimbo says, if you have an old analog TV tuner card for the PC, then that may work with the ZX81. I do not. I do not have that. That would have been a good option. But no, I don't have. I have one VCR. That's it. I have a 42-inch television that I'm pretty sure has a digital tuner in it. I think it's too new, even though it's dead old. It's too new. Oh, it might not be actually. I wonder how old that TV is. No, I think it's digital. I think it's digital, and I've got that VCR which somebody loaned me to capture some videos, and even that could be digital for all I know. It doesn't really say. I heard that people glued their ZX81 RAM expansion because you could just poke it and it would crash the computer. Probably. I think the Spectrum had that same problem where if you nudged it out just halfway, it sent 12. Like I think they put the 12 volts near the 5, and it would send 12 volts down the 5-volt rail and just burn your computer. So, and it was because you plugged the joystick into it as well. It was just a nightmare. The Grey Dukin says a single ZX81 can power the world. It could. I mean, if you took that back in time, Second World War, it would win you the war. If you could get it to display a picture, that is. And if you couldn't, well, you're kind of in trouble. Candles have a higher kilobyte rating, don't they? I don't know. I mean, it depends. If you want to store... I don't know what you're talking about, but if you want to store information on a candle, I suppose you could put notches in the side. And how many notches could you put in a candle? Like... I don't know, 25 notches. Let's say a candle is literally 32-bit, not a 32-bit candle, but you can put 32 bits on it. That is 4 bytes. So a candle can store about 4 bytes of information. ZX81, 1024 bytes. So it's a little bit better than a candle. You could try use TV. You just have to scan its channels. It would work then. Yeah, but I think the TV it's got a digital tuner in, so it won't be able to pick up. That's made for analog tuning, isn't it? Manually tune input 3 or 4. I don't think it'll pick it. I don't think it'll work. I could try it, but I think it's just a digital tuner, so they don't work with the old analog stuff anymore, do they? Because this is RF analog, not RF digital. Oh god, if it was digital, we'd be fine. Should work. Well, I could give it a go. At least I could get it on the TV. I wouldn't be able to capture it then. I mean, I'll give that a go. That's the only thing I've got in the house that I know you can even plug it into. Well, that's a good suggestion. I'll try it, but I don't think so. The Angry American. That's a good name. Just bought an Amiga A500 from Germany. Oh. Well, that's going to be PAL. And remember to convert you're going to have to convert it down from 230 volts to 120. Actually, your name's the Angry American, but actually I don't know if you're in America. So I'm just assumed that for a second there. You could be somewhere else. If it was before complete analog TV shutdown, it should work. Really? That's a good point. It's a really old TV, and I kept it. The reason I kept it is because it's got SCART input on it. It's got SCART input, so you can plug an Amiga into it, and it does work. It doesn't look as good as the OSSC, but it works. Oh, bought as a power supply from Poland. There you go. Amiga's from Germany, power supplies from Poland. Yep. I think that's probably from that guy who makes the same power supply that I've got for my Commodore 64. I am. Bought US power. There you go. Or you can do what we were talking about before, which is we were all what we've done is bought Meanwhile RT50Bs and put them in our power supplies. That's what this one's powered on right now. And I don't know for sure, I think they run on 240 or 120. I think. I'd have to check the specs. But that's what we've mostly done. So that's the other way of doing it, is you open the power supply up, stick a Meanwhile in, and that'll just work anywhere then. But you'll have to cut the plug off though. And remember kids, only work in power supplies if you know what you're doing. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I could still kill myself in them. Although you're more likely to kill yourself in the UK than you are in America, because we've got double the voltage. Double the voltage, double the fun. Amiga, American ingenuity, powered by British enthusiasm, bought from Germany with a Polish PSU. Yeah, that's true, actually. It's an American computer. It's got a British OS on it. And a lot of them were made in Germany. And yeah, Polish PSU, why not? I've had a few shocks of Amiga power packs. Yeah, well, you gotta be really careful with mains voltage. It can kill you. I'm also a proud owner of a Polish PSU. Yeah, I think I've got my. I think my Commodore 64 one is one of those. I took it apart on the channel, didn't I? It seemed okay, but I'm not an expert on power supplies, so I don't know enough to know if it's like super dodgy. But I know the meanwhile's got the, it's got the overcurrent and over voltage protection, so that's what's good about it. So if it hits the fan, ideally it just stops working, which is what Sherlock said he had. He had one that just didn't work, which is what you want. You want it to fail by not working, not fail by pumping tons of voltage into your delicate little Amiga. Poland has a big Amiga scene. I think a lot of Europe did though, didn't it? I'm on the bees on Hyperplay now. All on the bees. It's been an hour. I don't know if we're going to play a game today. Oh, let's play a game. I'll tell you what, I'll go make a tea in a minute and we'll play a game. I don't know what to play. Don't even know what to play. I do not know. The Angry American says, just found your channel. I imagine I'll be checking you out more now. It's my first Amiga with a Gotek in place of the drive. Oh, okay. I've not used Gotek, so I can't advise you on those. Is it your first Amiga ever, or first Amiga since back in the day? Play the Space Shuttle Simulator. Show me how to make it work. I don't have it with me, but it's not going to happen today. Space Shuttle. That's that game you got really annoyed with, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, first Amiga ever. Crazy. Crazy. So why have you decided to get one now? If you didn't have one back in the day, it's obviously, is it not? It's not a nostalgia thing. So why have you decided to get an Amiga now? I mean, because let's face it, there are faster computers, there are more available computers. You don't have to order them from Germany. You could get a Raspberry Pi. You could get a, you know, you can get workstations now with 96 cores. Did you know that? Oh, you collect old computers. Oh, cool. So have you got a big collection of old stuff? Did you see the ZX81? I bet you haven't got one of those. Oh, what? Oh, I thought it was going to do the Axel F thing. The goes. I'm from Poland, and I'm telling that Poland has a big Amiga scene. Oh, okay. I didn't know you're from Poland. It looks quite good, actually. By the standards of the day, it's just one of those ones you need a degree into boot on. Robocop 3. Jimbo wants Robocop 3. I'm only going to play the games I've got. I haven't got any WHC load or anything yet. I've only got the stuff I've got on disc, so it's going to be something I've played before. Robocop 3 wasn't that awful. Well, the film was awful. Robocop 3 is like a 3D game, isn't it? There is a video about that. It's not on YouTube. It's on the Kickstarter thing. It had good music. I know the C64 version had good music. That's the Jetpack film, is it? I've never seen Robocop 3. I actually watched today... Oh, that guy on YouTube who's done videos about... He's just done a video just describing Robocop and how good it was. It's actually quite a good video. It's an hour long. He goes through the whole film. What's he called? Under the Mayo or something. I just watched that today. It's really good. Robocop 3 didn't have Peter Weller. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. And he also did one where he's just talked about... There was a series in 2001 called Robocop Prime Directive? Something like that. Oh, this Lemming won't stay standing up. Come on, you're supposed to be a blocker. Stay. And he did a whole review on that. And it's like half good, half bad, you know. Also cheap. I had these 3D bits. Oh, it had these 3D bits. It was impressive for the old Amiga, yeah. Well, the Amiga was... I suppose it was fast enough to do it, and... like, reasonably. But still not Not as fast as you want. Sure, look, I've got Space Shuttle game. I'll fire it up and let you know. Also, that Amiga FPS Dread is made by a Polish guy, and it's really impressive for how he makes Doom game for the Amiga. Yeah, for me, Doom's a PC game though, really. Or Doom, even Doom style games are a PC game. That wasn't the Amiga for me. The Amiga didn't have 3D games for me. I played Castle Master on the Commodore 64, and that is super slow. I've still got that copy of that. That game is super, super slow. I mean, and when I say slow, it's 3 seconds a frame, or 2 seconds a frame, not 2 frames per second. I guess I'll have to buy an external drive also. Well, maybe. I had an external drive back in the day, but I haven't used one recently because I'm just using a hard disk instead now. It sounds like chiptune. That TV series was awful. Yeah, well, actually, he reviewed it and said it actually was like the first 2 episodes are actually not that bad, but then the last 2 episodes just ruin everything. It's only a 4-episode thing. It's probably 4 hours long, but it's like 2 episodes good, 2 episodes terrible. But maybe it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you watch it and then you get to the other 2. But yeah, it looked okay. It looked okay. Other Lemming Climber with magnets on its hands. What? Oh, really? So you can like stick it on a radiator or something. I don't think I want to put one on a radiator, but you know, put it on the fridge. Do you know, I had the chance of buying one of the actual cars used in RoboCop 3, but didn't. I think they were selling it off for $2,000. Oh, right. Would that have been a good deal though? I mean, because RoboCop 3 is not the most classic film ever, but was it a 6000 SUX? If anybody remembers what the SUX was. What programming language would you recommend for Amiga? I heard BASIC is not good. I did a bit of BASIC back in the day, but I don't remember doing much on the Amiga because it doesn't ship with it anymore anyway, does it? It depends. If you want to write a game, the only thing I've tried recently is what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Amiga. It's not called Amiga Compiler. It's got a really boring name. It's a Visual Studio Code plugin, and it's just called. I don't know if it's just called. It's just called Amiga Dev Kit or something like that. But you program in C basically, or C++. You can program in C, and it compiles it using. It's just using Clang, and you can run it in an emulator, and it will run on a real Amiga. But that's just for programming if you want to program a game or something. But I don't know. I wouldn't recommend Amiga Basic, but you could mess about in Amiga Basic. I mean, so I don't know. But yeah, I'd recommend downloading that Visual Studio Code plugin. And I can't remember what it's called. Let me look it up now. What is it called? It's called Amiga C/C++ compile, debug, and profile. If you just type Amiga C, it's a one-stop Visual Studio Code to compile, debug, and profile Amiga C and C++ programs. Oh, it compiles with GCC. There you go. And it's bundled with WinUIE and GDB, so you can debug in there, and you can profile, which is quite good. You can see what the blitter's doing and stuff like that, and you can see how it's like working alongside the CPU. It's quite clever. It is quite clever. It's what this, in fact, this disc I've got in here, Tiny Bubble, was written using that in about 2021 by the guy who made it, who made the extension. So I'd recommend looking at that. You don't need an Amiga to look at it. You can just download Visual Studio Code. It works on Mac, Linux, and Windows. I don't know if the extension works on all of them. Probably does. I've only used it on Windows. And yeah, you can start making Amiga games. I want to modify a PC floppy and make it an external floppy drive for the Amiga. I suppose that's quite easy to do. The thing about the floppy drives is it's all about, especially with external ones, it's all about getting the case and the cable and everything, isn't it? I think modifying the floppy drive itself is not. Don't think it's that hard. I didn't realise that all that really happened is IBM had changed the pinouts on the floppy drive from the Sugart standard. They just did it to annoy everyone, I think. And that's why the Amiga and the ST and the other ones are technically doing it right. And the PC was like, oh no, we're IBM, we're going to change the pinouts on that thing. Thanks, IBM. Thanks for nothing. Except for the PC. Thanks for that. Lockmon Goat says, I bought it from a garage site for a couple of pounds when I was quite young and thinking it was the movie. I was sorely disappointed. Oh, you bought... What, Robocop 3 are you talking about? The Goga says Amos was big back in the day. Oh yeah, you could use Amos to write a game. That's a good point. That is a good point. But yeah, Amos or that Visual Studio Code plugin is worth a look. Or you could bust out DevPack, which I've got a box version of it now, which I haven't been back to for quite a while, but I'd like to have a look at that. DevPack's just for writing assembler, and that's how people did it back in the day. But I wouldn't recommend that anymore because I don't think it's necessary to write an assembler anymore for the Amiga, because the compilers are much better now. At least the PC ones are. I think the problem with back in the days, the C compilers weren't very good, so they generated pretty poor code. Well, not super poor, but when your computer's very limited and your code's even a little bit poor, you know, if it used up 2 bytes instead of 1 every time it compiled a certain instruction, you'd be like, oh, you just wasted half my memory just doing nothing. So you'd end up hand coding it, but it's not necessary nowadays. The C compilers generally are going to write code better than you can anyway. At least better assembly than you can. Generally. Doesn't mean they're not going to be able to optimize everything, but then you can still do that yourself with the code. I just want to get external floppy for now. Don't need the case. Alright, well, it should be possible. It's just wired straight through, isn't it? It's just the same as the internal one, except has it got a wire swapped or something? Oh, or you need something to tell you it's a different ID or something, isn't it? I'm not sure, but I don't think it's that hard. I think Jan Beta did some floppy drive PC conversions recently on his channel, so it might be worth looking at that, because he just converts a PC floppy drive to Amiga. But I don't think he does the external one. But it might be worth watching that if you don't know what you're doing, because I wouldn't. Don't say ST. Now I want a 520 ST. I assume the Atari ST drive and the Amiga drive was pretty much the same, wasn't it? I know that PC floppies use different floppy ID or something like that. Yeah, they've just got a slightly different pinout on the connector, because they just changed it. IBM changed it. Drive select is different on Amiga. There you go. Joseph Phillips, Pooh, do you have you tried or seen anyone try to get ChatGPT to code something on the Amiga? I think I asked it to write some 68,000. Did it do it? I can't remember if I told it to write Hello World in 68,000. I think it can do it. But I don't think there's any reason to... I don't know. You could ask it. You can ask it yourself now and see what it comes up with. Ask it to write your Hello World for the Amiga. But that's going to be a big program. Well, it depends. Actually, it depends. If you're writing it for Amiga OS, it's not a big program. But yeah, you could do it. There are 2 pins that you need to change. Pretty simple. There you go. ChatGPT is going to write everything. Eventually, you just want it wired straight to your brain. You just think of the code, and it just writes it for you in whatever language it wants. But where's the fun in that, eh? Where's the fun? I think we were discussing this at work the other day. It's pretty funny because for programmers, ChatGPT mostly isn't going to be that much use, because it's not writing the code that's hard, and even learning the language isn't hard. The problem is figuring out what you're trying to do. We've discussed all this before, haven't we? But it's figuring out what the problem is the problem. And by the time you figure out what the problem is, you can almost definitely figure out the solution almost instantly. And then writing the code is the easy part. So I don't think ChatGPT can't really, although they're calling it AI, can't really solve your problems, because the set of data you need to input for it is so large. It doesn't really work. You know, it's like, how do I make... one of your problems you get when you're writing a video game is like, how do I make it fun? And ChatGPT can't You can't ask it to make your game fun. You're like, write me the code that makes this game fun. And it's like, no, you just have to work that out yourself. And by the time you worked it out, well, writing the code is the easy part. It's like, might be 2 lines of code or something. Or, oh, I'll just do this slightly differently. Or I'll just do this in a different order. So the code's not the hard bit. Generally. It refuses to write a Hangman game for Amiga for me. It will only offer me guidance. See, this is the thing. It can only do what it's been trained with. And there won't be a lot of Amiga stuff out there because Amiga's not as popular as... Well, there's a lot of Amiga code out there, let's put it that way. But compared to the vastness of everything else that was written since the Amiga died, so to speak, that will overwhelm it by massive amounts. So, for instance, I suspect that Unreal Engine has more code in it than every other Amiga game that was ever written and put together. Like, you could say that right now, I think. That's a pretty sweeping generalization. I don't know. But I would be interested to see if there's something like that was true, that just plain vanilla Unreal, out of the box, all the engine code and everything that it does is probably more code than all the Amiga games that were ever written. There you go. I'm going to make that statement. I don't know if that's true, but it could be. So there you go. So that's like why the overwhelmingness of like ChatGPT can't give you information on it, because it hasn't got enough information to draw on. I had the lattice C compiler for Sinclair QL. Oh, took minutes to compile Hello World. Yeah, the sequential microdrive cartridge were the worst possible. Yep, Sinclair QL was a huge failure, and that was coming out about the same time as the Amiga, wasn't it? And that was the thing. They were kind of making like an Amiga, but really cheap. Like, you thought the Amiga was cheap. Oh, it's 400. Like the Amiga 500 was like the cost-reduced Amiga, wasn't it? So Sinclair did it cheaper. And I think they used the version of the 68000 that Commodore was, or I don't know if it was Commodore, but Commodore were trying to get J Miner, who was making the Amiga, to use that chip as well. And it's the same chip as the 68000, except it's got an 8-bit bus instead of a 16-bit bus. So it's super rubbish. But that's what they used in the QL. They used that one. So everything takes twice as long. So you want to get an instruction from RAM, it takes twice as long on that chip. It's at the same clock speed, obviously. It takes twice as long. So if you clock it lower, it's even worse. World of Wonders. So, yeah, the Sinclair QL. Yeah, what is it called? It's this. Is it this? It's not the 6800. It's whatever the 68000 is with the 8-bit bus. But I think that's what they used. Yeah, but like I said, J Miner was like, I don't want to use that chip. It's rubbish. Can we at least have the 16-bit one, please? And that's what they did anyway. And this has now got the 32-bit one. Oh, it's 24-bit addressing in this one, isn't it? 24-bit addressing and 32-bit bus. It's not great writing dialogue, I tried. It might be good at giving you an idea, maybe? It went out of its way to say Amiga is obsolete and not popularly used. I just think it doesn't know Amiga. Yeah, well, that's probably what it's learned, is that, hey, this thing's not very popular. I don't have enough information to write enough stuff about it. So it can't tell you. So that's the thing. Once your problem becomes esoteric, like it's not a huge problem that's been written about a lot, then ChatGPT can't solve it because it didn't know about it. Firstly, I should finally fix that caps lock on the keyboard. I just can't bring myself to fix it. Oh, 68,008. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. The 8 meaning 8-bit bus, probably. I don't know. Yeah, so that was the super cheap chip, and there definitely was. Because when I did my Why is the Amiga So Awesome video, I remember there was a talk with J Miner, and he definitely said that. He said they wanted them to use that 68,008. He was like, no. They also wanted him to put... I think he knew it needed 512 kilobytes of RAM, and Commodore were like, no, it's too expensive. You've got to put 256 in. And that's why it's basically the Amiga 1000 is 256, and you always put an expansion in it. Because, you know, you could run with 256, but you couldn't do anything with it. I think that's right about ChatGPT being rubbish. Yep. There you go. It's not rubbish, it's I think all it is it's just gonna be a different way of searching the web, isn't it? It's just phrasing the results of what you search for in terms of an answer, rather than giving you a list of pages. But it still references the pages, so you can go look at where it got its information from. So I think in the future we probably will search the web more like ChatGPT than we will like Google. But I don't think they'll ever go away the other way, because sometimes you just want to just give me the information. Like, give me the page that has the information on. Don't reword it. I want to see it in its originality. That's exactly how I use it, as a more efficient way to search the web. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Do you remember Amiga VR Virtuality? No, I've never heard of that. Still, for nearly all games, you need 1 megabyte of RAM. I don't think that's true. You need about half a megabyte of RAM. And there's a lot of games that don't need it. I mean, there's a lot that do, but there's not many. And to make silly pictures, that's also what you want. Yeah, I was quite shocked. A lot of the Amiga games don't need a megabyte. They need half a megabyte. I was quite shocked at how few needed it. Virtuality was running on A3000s. I've never heard of it. What was it? It can't have been a VR headset thing, was it? Are my lemmings blocking the vents on the Amiga? The Amiga's not getting too hot, that's alright. It's a chip tune. Right, I'm going to make another drink, come back, we'll play some games, and then it's nearly midnight and we're nearly done. But I've just been talking today. My voice is going already. Just been talking about the ZX81 and the problems I've had with it. Well, the problems I haven't had, because I haven't got it running yet. I had an Amiga 3 years before I even knew there was a 500 kilobyte expansion. Got one to use Dragon's Lair eventually. Oh, cool. There you go. 3 years and you didn't know there was an expansion. You would have done if you had an Amiga 1000, because you would have got 256 kilobytes of RAM and you would have booted up and gone, oh, I've got like 100k left to do nothing with, because there's not enough memory. Right, I'll be back in a moment. Refill my water. How are the lemmings doing? Have they walked to their death yet? Oh, what's going on here? There's loads of things going on. What are you guys saying? We don't want those lemmings to combust by blocking the vent, although lemming destruction is cool. You don't want to destruct those guys. I don't want to destruct the Amiga with them. I don't think they're blocking enough of the vents to make it worth. Quick, someone change people's background picture before he comes back. Change the pound key to dollar. That's a cruel trick. Did you see the massive spider crawling around behind me? Was it on my wall? Was there a spider? Is that true? The lemmings come to life when he's not looking. Like, sorry. I remember playing games when younger and getting so into it early in the morning. A knife-wielding murder could be behind me and I would not know. Everyone else the same. Yep, that's how it goes. That is the best kind, isn't it? Where you're like, people coming in. It's like your mum comes in and puts your dinner down and you don't even notice and you don't eat it and she comes and takes it away and you didn't even know it was ever there. So Sherlock, your daughter sold the Emmings via Etsy. The Gamer's Trance. Is that what? She does other things. Okay. She did a great job. I very nearly decided to keep them, but decided that I wanted to order more. I did message her thank you, but she said when they're more able, I would order more. They are very good. The lemmings are very, very good. That is all I can say. They look amazing. They're so detailed as well. The bridge build is awesome. They're all awesome. I think they're amazing. The VR headset was massive. Black and orange front piece with the word virtuality carved on it. It was a 1992 piece of tech. I have never seen this. And was it made by Commodore? My favourite game on Amiga needs 1 megabyte. So from day one I needed 12 kilobyte expansion. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they did. They all needed it, but I think everybody ended up with one because firstly, Workbench, you probably wanted more RAM. And secondly, there was probably one game that you wanted that needed a megabyte. Like Cannon Fodder needs a megabyte. I don't think Lemmings needs a megabyte, but it uses a megabyte. So even Lemmings doesn't need it. And I think once the 500 plus came out and the 600, I think there's a lot more people willing to make games that needed more memory. Oh, it wasn't from Commodore. Okay. We might play a dungeon crawler. I mean, I could play Pool of Radiance, but the Amiga version, I never played that. It'd be much better because the disc swapping on the Commodore 64 was crazy. It was 4 double-sided discs, but plus you had your save game disc. It was like, oh my god, I've still got my save game. Lemmings will be available soon. Everybody's going to want these Lemmings. They're just so good. They're actually so good. The first version of the 1000 series ran on the Amiga 3000 with 4 megabytes of RAM and some custom hardware. 4 megabytes was a lot back then, wasn't it? Dungeon Master also needs 1 megabyte of RAM. Don't know if that's true, but on Atari ST it works with 512 kilobytes of RAM. I can't speak. I don't know what these tunes are playing, but these are all on my hard disk somewhere. What game are we going to play? It's got to be a game that works on the 1200, and let's face it, none of them do. Glad you got the parcel safely. Enjoy the Lemming, and I hope the ZX81 makes a great video project for you. Much appreciated. Going to check out for tonight. Catch you all. Yeah, excellent. It is making. It's already. I've got raw footage for the first part of a video of me just fumbling around and not getting it to work. So there's got to be more. It's got to be more. But yeah, it is great. Thanks for sending it, and thanks for sending these Lemmings. Yeah, never had a Sinclair on the channel. It could become Dave Blue's Sinclair Basement soon. You never know. If you have Rygar, play that. It's great. I don't have Rygar. Oh, I might have. I don't know. It'll be something I've played before. Whoa! What have we got in here? Got Rainbow Islands, Pang. I played it at Pang. Oh, the original Turrican. That doesn't work on the 1200, does it? Got Rodland. Does New Zealand Story work on it? Free with the Amiga 500. Oh, and there's Batman the movie. Space Harrier. I don't think a lot of these discs work anymore. God, what is this tune? Let's just boot one of these up. Let's boot one. Let me boot Turrican and see if Turrican works. I don't think it works. I don't think it works on the 1200. I've got Deluxe Paint 4 AGA there. That's already installed. They're a load of like old discs. Oh, it does work. Just work flat out on the. Just flat out, just work on the Amiga 1200. Was it going to fail? Dungeon Master would be great. There's no disc swapping because the whole game is on one floppy disk. Nice. At least when you have a second floppy drive for one game, it's second save for floppy. Yeah, I think the Gold Box games that I played that were on 4 double-sided discs on the Commodore 64 were on, I think it was 2 discs on the Amiga. So if you had a second drive, you put your save game in the second drive, and your main disc had one of the game discs in it. There wasn't much swapping at all. I didn't know this worked. This works. I'm going to play this. It totally works on the Amiga 1200. After I've listened to a bit of the music, I'm going to crank it up in my headphones. Shoot or Die. This is one I played on the Commodore 64, not on the Amiga. I might have played it on the Amiga back in the day, but I think mostly played it on the Commodore 64. This is going to seem really old compared to Turrican 2 now. It's on WHD Load or floppy disk if you bought that version. It's been released recently, recent years. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I think I'd be up for playing the Gold Box games again because I've played them before and I don't remember anything about them. I remember spending a long time playing Pool of Radiance, but I don't think it takes that long to play. I think I was playing it when I was like 10 or something. And, you know, it's my first RPG I'd ever played. I didn't know what I was doing. I remember drawing out maps on graph paper when it was in these like dungeons and stuff. But I don't know if it'd be a good game to stream because the combat's so boring. I have got Syndicate that I could play some more Syndicate actually, but I haven't been back to that. I don't know if Syndicate's going to start getting good. That's another thing. Again, I think that's one of those games that's not very streamable because it's all like strategy and doing stuff like in menus. Is this got a music menu like Turrican 2's got? I'm pressing space. No. I think that's the thing. That guitar sound. The Amiga was always like, if you're doing sampled sounds and you're doing the sample guitar, it just never sounded right at all. I mean, it sounds cool nowadays because it sounds like retro, but if you wanted it to sound like a real guitar, it just didn't sound like one. It doesn't have a music menu. Oh well. Well, let's give it a go. Hopefully, it might not load. It still might not load on the 1200. I am shocked that it's loading at all. I never expect anything to work on the 1200 anymore. Here we go. Oh, whoa, what happened there? Oh, that's me. I pressed the space ages ago. Oh, that's a mine. Let's go get some stuff. Goodies. Oh yeah, extra life. Can I do anything up here? Oh no. I always think this tune is like the Love Will Tear Us Apart. It's got little bits of that in it. Lately I bought 67 floppies. Don't know if I said that, but I'm praying that they'll work. Because the last batch 20 floppies had 12 bad in it. Oh my word. Oh yes, I have played this before on the 1200. It gets these glitches, but it works. You get this little glitch in the rendering. I think Turrican 2 on the Amiga Mini. That would be good. I did want to play that. I was probably going to try that out. You could even play Turrican 2 AGA on the Amiga Mini, I think. Yeah, it's got an Amiga Mini version that comes bundled with it. Problem is, I couldn't get the Amiga Mini to do anything with external drive. Right, I'm going to get lost in this game though because I haven't played it for like a long time. I've been playing Turrican 2. Oh, whoops. Doesn't have the copper bar backgrounds in this one. What were they playing at? It's got good music though. Rocks! Is there something I can do up here? Yep. Oh, look at that. That's killing me. It's killing me. Oh, I've got nothing out of that. Nothing. Right, there's one of these you probably have to fall down. One of them's a death pit. Oh no, that's Turrican 2 I'm thinking of maybe. I don't know, I've forgotten how to play this game. All I know is the auto fire is a help. Oh, this is the bit. Yeah, you get stuck in here. There is something I'm supposed to do here, and I can't remember what it is. How I'm supposed to get out of this thing without dying. There it is. It's really tricky to get out of that. Uh-oh. He didn't die as quickly as I thought he would. Whoops! Killed by the power-up! Oh dear. Oh, I'm back down to the pea shooter now. I'm on pea shooters. Is there nothing up here? No. Take that. Invulnerability. Oh no! Don't die! You have to kill that guy, don't you? He's like the boss. Weird. Like, you can't get out of the level till you've killed that dude. Oh, you don't get time to drink or anything here. Wow, I just missed my power up as well. Don't bash me. Well, he's dead. Yeah, we have to put up with the glitches. Tell you what, not bad though. This game working on the 1200. This game came out well before the 1200 did, and it totally works. So they didn't do anything dodgy with their disk loader. They did it the right way. Where's this going? Up here? Uh oh. Oh, look at that. It was worth going up there. Jeez. Did you give me enough lives? Uh-oh. I'm going to die here, aren't I? I'm going to fall to my death. No, maybe not. These are the bits you can't do without the... when you've got the laggy converter box. You can't do any of those jumps there. It's really bad. Uh-oh. Don't fall to your death. Not getting that power up. What a great game. What a great little game. Uh-oh. Except I'm dead. Oh, you can't jump on those dudes in this one. Is this? You think there's a power-up down there? It's a power-up, or I think it's death down here. It's a power-up. Well, it's a one-up. Uh-oh. They look like Commodore 64 sprites, those little bouncy dudes there. Invulnerability! Doesn't have the one-up and all that, does it? It doesn't have the speech in this one. Is it paused? Yeah. Lately, oh yeah, you said that one. Turrican poo, yes. You need CPU cache disabled on the A1200 for Turrican to work perfectly, if I remember well. Maybe, yeah, I'm here now, so it's working pretty well. I like the next level music, yep. Sorry, it's the level after this music, right. I didn't know about that extra life secret hiding place. Oh, right, well, there you go. Coolvin, you're here, hey. Sherlock, you going to stream Xmas Lemmings? I could do. I think I've still got the disc or somewhere. I've got the ADF on the hard disk here. Did that last year though, didn't we? But I could just stream Oh No More Lemmings because I do have Oh No More Lemmings to play. That is one of the things I've got. What else have I got here? That's about it. I want to play some more Blood Money as well because it's rock solid. I know that the Amiga version was superior to C64 version, but C64 is incredibly impressive. Correct. The C64 version just is amazing. Much less disk space sound for this one. Yep. They're both single disc games though, aren't they? I think. And they both don't need a megabyte of RAM. Uh-oh. But yeah, it's not running perfectly. There's that glitch. It's an interesting glitch. It's interesting that it picked up a glitch just on the... Ah, I'm going to sneeze. I might sneeze in a minute. You really should do this to these dudes. That's it. But yeah, not bad considering they wrote this game before the 1200 came out. So they never tested it. Right. Are we on the good music level? I'm gonna sneeze. Uh-oh. Oh, this one. Is this the good music? Ding dong ding ding. Doesn't Cannon Fodder have a Christmas edition? Yeah, it does. I think we played that as well. They just do. It's actually Cannon Soccer, isn't it? It's the Sensible Soccer pitch with Cannon Fodder people on it. Is that right? Cannon Soccer. It's on the same disc, I think, as the Christmas Lemmings. Or one of the Christmas Lemmings. Ouch. Oh, this is good music. I'll not fire as much so we can hear it. Uh-oh. Oh, I keep falling off. Is this the weird one where you keep going up and it's just no point to it? That's really annoying to get up there. I can't get up there. Oh, that cuts out some of the music when you do that. What was the point in coming up here, really? It does look like a Commodore 64 game, kind of, doesn't it? Got a simple look to it. But it's just when you see it on the Commodore 64, you're like, wow, the Commodore 64 can do this. It's like amazing. Oh, I forgot I can do this as well, can't I? But I only get limited times to do it in this one. Oh my word. Got murdered. I like it when it changes key. Isn't that the best bit of every song? Remember when all songs used to have a key change in? That's how they did it back in the day. Oh, this is a weird one, isn't it? You have to, like, shoot this rock. And then this platform comes out. And then you can get on it. That's just really weird. Can't remember it at all. That one-up secret will help me in my next playthrough of this game because I suck at playing this game. Amstrad CPC version has parallax scrolling. What? Amstrad CPC beats this version. Rock to 11. This one goes to 11. I cannot believe it. Alright, I think this is where I get totally lost. This level starts getting bigger. Oh, stupid little rocks. Joop. That's good. This one's got more creepy music. Is he still called Bren Maguire in this one, or did that only happen for the second one? Is this the one where I fight the giant fish? I'm going to die from lack of power. Whoops. There you go. Oh, giant mechanical fish. Yeah, I just said it. Someone else said it. Great Hadouken. Giant mechanical fish. What we need is an even gianter mechanical cat. Yes, that would work. Except, can the cat swim? Because Turrican can. Gems! Or diamonds or whatever. Oh, this little dude here, he's doing my head in. There you go, stop. I don't even know if the gems are going to get me anywhere. Uh-oh. Fish! It should be like Quake, where if you use the lightning gun underwater, you get destroyed. They didn't think of that, did they? Oh, we've got a little splash when he comes out. That's nice. Nice little touch. Oh! Did a bomb by accident. Where am I going in this game? It's certainly not this way. It's not down here. Hi Dave, didn't know you were broadcasting this evening tonight. I didn't. It started out a bit late because I was working on a Spectrum. I was working on a Sinclair computer, and it took quite a bit of time. And I thought, well, I'll finish now because I can't do anything else, and I'm going to stream. So it started quite late, and here I am. Oh, power-ups. That's what we want. Oh, come here. Oh, this is the explodey power-up one. Let's use my shuriken. How long before I go to my death with this? Oh, I'm alright. I'm alright, folks. This game really needs an auto fire. It just needs it. But then you have to keep turning it off to do this. Ouch! It's got the bouncy balls. The music is really good. Chris Hillsbeck, he does a damn fine job. ChatGPT says it's still Bren Maguire, but I don't trust it. Okay. I wonder if it's written down anywhere. Like, is this Bren Maguire or what? Come on. Maybe it's just implied, because if it's Bren Maguire in the second one, it must be Bren Maguire in this one. But I don't know. We don't know the lore about Turrican, do we? Let's face it, they were just making it up as they go along. Bren Maguire. What a ridiculous name. Revenge! When do I fight the fish? I'm in the water. This looks like the fish area. Look, it's a boss area, isn't it? Come on, boss. Where are you? Here we go. Don't kill me. It's got Jaws music. Oh, the jaw killed me. Come on, fish. There we go. I lost a life to the fish. Whoa, slow there. And he spits out giant death balls at the end. Gems! Useless gems. Oh, whoa. That's more useful, though. That is useful. Oh, am I going down there? That wasn't there before, was it? That's a bit of a swizz. That just appeared out of nowhere. Opening up a bit of the level when you kill a boss. That's cheating. It's got these shh noises. Oh, jump up there. Right, let's not get the gems because I can't be bothered. Gems don't do me any good. Don't need no stinking gems. Is there anything over here? Like a death pit down there. These might be death pits, so there could be extra lives in them. There's no real way of knowing. Oh, where am I going up here? I don't. This isn't the right way to go, but I figured there might be some goodies up here. Yeah, that's what I thought. You always go the wrong way. Gems. They should have just put gems everywhere. Maybe they were limited on sprites or something. It was worth going up there. Right, that's probably stuff in there, but might be just death pits. Is this the exit of the level? It is! Oh, he's... Oh, well, oh. Oh. This one's good music. Shuriken Shoe. Always nice when Dave's streaming, by the way. I like Turrican 2. Turrican 2 2. This is Turrican 1. Turrican 2 2. You like Turrican 2, but this is Turrican 1. Really impressive thing about music in Turrican is that software mixes several channels. And also that sound effects and music play at the same time. Yep, that is good. And it was ported from the Atari ST, because the Atari ST doesn't really have good sound, so they just wrote a sound mixer and then they ported that over to the Amiga, so it got more sound. So there you go. Which is weird to say it, that sound effects and music at the same time are impressive, but a lot of games have music or sound effects in me, but not music or sound effects at the same time. Yep, this one did it. It does cut out when you do the beam thing, but on the AGA version, they managed to make it do AGA Turrican 2. They managed to get rid of that as well. Some of the music cuts out when you do this, doesn't it? Yeah, some of the one of the tracks is cutting out. But apart from that, they've done pretty well. And like I said, the AGA version restores that. Oh, hello. Hello. Whoops, I've fallen in a pit. Can I get up there, please? Apparently not. Right, invulnerability. Let's go. One up. Uh-oh. It's all gone now. These poles kill you. Ridiculous. Do they even look like they're going to kill you? No. But they do. Well, that thing just disappeared, didn't it? It just disappeared. Oh, it's a garbage chute. Whoops. Is there a way of getting across that without dying? 'Cause I think I always die there. The thing about Turrican is that there's the other weapons and I hardly ever use them. I just shoot. It's shoot or die. Let's face it. Nothing over here. Probably. Going down this hole. Whoa. Gems. Whoa, millions of gems. Oh, did I get an extra life for that or something? I think I went over 500 gems. What's in here? Nothing. What was the point in that? Got a few dead ends in this level. That's a lot of gemage. Right, I think... Is there a boss in here? Oh, that's the exit. Through the boss. Can I just stand here and shoot him or what? The music's speeding up and that means I'm going to die. No, I'm not. I'm fine. That's... Doodly-doodly-doo. Code has to be very optimized and even has time to software mix sounds. Yeah, I mean, you could spend quite a large proportion of the CPU time mixing software sounds. So that's a problem. And obviously you still do that now. You still do that on modern hardware. But you just have tons more processing power, so it doesn't take as long. This music was definitely on the Commodore 64 version because I remember it from the Commodore 64. I don't think all the levels had music, did they, on the C64? Oh, missed out on that one-up. Should have remembered that. But this music was definitely there. I probably spent quite a large proportion of my childhood playing this game. Not got as much memory of it now. Hey, you got an extra life! Oh, another one! Oh no, there was two! That's evil. I missed out on 2 extra lives there. The thing is though, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get to the level where it's all diagonal things. And I'm probably going to stop there because it's going to be too late. It's already past midnight now. Done this before. The game's so long and there's no like save state. You need an Amiga Mini for that. Oh, that was extra life. 15 lives. Yeah, so this music's definitely ported from the C64. It sounds weird in the headphones with the stereo. Whoops, there's a death. Oh, another extra life gone. There's like 5 extra lives on this level. You've really got to remember where they are. There's no way I'm going to get through all these lives. I'm going to end up... Hey, look at this though. You said the Amstrad had parallax. We've got parallax here. It's totally got... Is it doing the dual bit playing thing? Oh, I thought I was going to die then. Dee. Oops, mixed Turrican 2, Turrican 1. They do look very similar. Must have been 30 years. I'm getting old. This is a good one as well. Oh, hello. Oh, these dudes. They spit loads of balls and things at you. Wow, they take a beating, don't they? Could you get out of the way, please? That's it. Oh, you're still going, are you? Uh-oh, missed out on some power-ups there. Oh no, it's the spiders! Whoa, stuff going everywhere. I didn't even get to this level, and you got here without even trying. You need an auto fire. That's what you need. Love the lemmings on your H1200. They are good, aren't they? They're crocheted lemmings. They are amazing. Spiders are nasty. Yeah, they certainly are. And they make their way back to Turrican 2 as well, don't they, those little spiders? I think they are the face huggers, are they, in the second one? These guys spit loads of junk at you. Oh, hello. Right, invulnerable, let's go. Whoops, let's go fall to my death. Oh, spider! Took half my health. Oh god, he's shoot as well. This spider's gonna have me. Wow, they take a beating. Spiders are tough. It's one of those things with these old games. It's like, hey, you're on level 7. We have to like up the health of all the enemies by like 10 times. Whoa, extra lives? Oh no, I was gonna hit him because I had invulnerability, but it ran out. Watch out, these guys jump! Ah! The spider's my worst enemy. Look, let's just do this. There you go. That spider, oh god, that spider did me in there. Definitely. That spider was my doom. Can you do this here? Nope, that didn't work. Ouch. Oh, I put a bomb down. Oh, bombs would have done the spiders in, wouldn't they? Oh, another extra life. Wow. They're throwing them at me now. And more. Good lord. Nah, no. Spiders are no match for invulnerability. Oops. Turrican, music in Turrican is more increasingly awesome level after level. It is awesome. It's always awesome. Always the awesomeness. Come on, spider, you can die. Let's do that. Let's do that thing. There you go. That kills them. Little bombs. Oh, hello. No, spiders. Take that. Quite like these little bombs. I've forgotten all about them. It's because you have to turn the auto fire off. That's my problem. Ouch, ouch. Oh, ouch. Whoops. I think Turrican's a great go-to great go-to game if you just want to shoot some stuff. Oh, I lost that power up because I scrolled it off the screen. Increasingly more awesome. Turrican. There you go. I mean, these games, like these kind of games, got replaced by first-person shooters, didn't they, really? These are the first-person shooters before first-person shooters existed. Like, if you take Call of Duty and stuff, it's just the replacement for this game. It's just play the game, shoot lots of stuff, and that's all there really is to it. I mean, they've got more complicated. They went first-person, but really, it's just this game, isn't it? Run around and blast stuff. Or Doom, I suppose, replaced it. Oh, hello. Hello. Stop it. These guys are annoying. Not when you've got mines, though. This level's like huge and repetitive, I've got to say it. This game is hard. It's not super hard. I think it's quite long. I think that's the problem. Although I'm probably going to get screwed on the next level. It might even be easier on the Amiga than it is on the Commodore 64, I think. I'm not sure. Definitely did do... Like, spent a long time playing it on the C64 when I was a kid, but maybe I just learnt the game back then. I don't know. This level is... Oh, definitely repetitive. Oh, extra lives! Oh, I got him. Where am I going? I feel like I've been here. Have I been here? Is it down here? Wait a minute. Have I been here as well? No, maybe not. It's so, like, repetitive, the level, you can't tell where you are. Oh, extra life. Hello. Where am I going? I've started to get lost now. Maybe it is this way. I am lost. I'm officially lost. Right, which way is it? There's got to be somewhere to go around here that I didn't go. It's not up there, is it? Do I have to go up? Is it this way? Oh, spider! Spider, hello! God, they didn't give me any invulnerability. Is that the way out? Yes. That was a bit weird at the end. I got lost just at the end. Oh, it's another scrolly level. This music was on the Commodore 64 as well, I think. Because I have got a memory of it. Oh, look at his little jetpack. Ouch. Oh, I just slammed right into that guy. Yeah, that sounds a bit Commodore 64, doesn't it? That chiptune-y style noise. Oh, that's running out. I think you're supposed to do more of this style thing. Oh, hello. Wow, I'm just getting absolutely murdered on this one. There you go, invulnerability, that's what we want. I'm invulnerable for most of the time now. Yeah, that sounds so much like Commodore 64. Oh, that guy nearly murdered me. I'm just picking whatever power-ups I get, I don't really care what it is. Another invulnerability, it's crazy. Oh, hello. Am I not getting power-ups here? Wow, this level's going on a bit, isn't it? Ouch. I think you're supposed to have to shoot those somehow, but I'm kind of like scrunching through them. Lasers in the walls. It's over. Maybe Devs thought a lot of people would die in this level, so there's a lot of one-ups, maybe. Or at least that was that other level. The A1200 rules. The machine rocks. Yeah. The desert rocks. That's the Turrican 2 thing. It's doing a bit of loading there. Is it going to fail here? Oh no, this is the one that's got the... where it turns into the creepy alien thing. And this is probably where we're going to get to, because it's 20 past the midnight. But I seem to remember doing a lot of this in this level. Bouncing around, because it's got drips of acid that kill you. And these little dudes. But you can't... oh, hello. You can't do that an unlimited number of times in Turrican 1. Which you can in Turrican 2. Yeah, this is where the game gets crazy. Can't shoot those either. Like, where do you go? I don't think I've got past this on the Amiga because it's just... this is one where it's like, where am I? It's like, I don't know. Oh, you can run up the hills. That's good. Oh, maggots. Watch out for maggots. You can't really shoot downhill, but you can shoot uphill. I think I'm going the right way. Don't know. Let's go this like this. Bouncing my way along. And they did this in Turrican 2, didn't they? Where they turned it into like an aliens level. Right. This is where you need a map of the level because, oh my god, everything's the same. Maybe. Oh, maybe it's this way. Oh, he comes through walls, does he? Oops, that's a death pit. That's a death pit, probably. Oh, I'm here now, am I? These things murder you. That's a death pit. And the spiders are murdering me. Oh, the acid murdered me. I hate this level. Yeah, it's... I remember it being good on the Commodore 64, but... it's a bit more monotonous on this one. It's because they've dropped the music and they've made it less interesting because there's less music. Oh, hello. The collision detection on the acid is not great. And it's, yeah, it's very similar-ish. I have no idea where to go. Oh no, I'm falling back to my death! Yeah, it feels like they're going to take me really all the way around the houses again. Unless I'm supposed to go down here. Oh yeah, this is the boss. This big block boss. I always thought it was weird in Turrican that the bosses weren't at the end of the levels. You could get them at the start of the level sometimes. It's really weird. Oh, if I'm not... He's killing me. Yeah, he's killing me when he does the pound. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not good. Oh, hello. Let's get back in here. There you go. He took a bit of pounding there. Maybe we can get through this one level. It's going to be another level after it. It's going to be the same, isn't it, though? That's going to be the... Oh, my God. So many things. Where am I going? Oh, what's killing me? Exit. There we go. Did it. I did it. Oh, you got a Turrican icon. That's really good. You see, it doesn't improve, does it? Because we're now on the... We just got bats. I thought that was a platform, and it's not. Whoops. Bats. All right, well... I think I'm going to call it... I think I'm going to call it here, even though I've got 14 lives left. I think it's the end of the stream because it's midnight. It's time for the bed. We had some fun today. We talked about computers mostly. And I played a little bit of Turrican. And one day I'll play this game on stream and we'll actually finish it because it's just so long. I'm probably not that far from the end. I can't remember the game anymore. Look at this. I'm just like speedrunning it now. Speedrun dying. Yeah, it's those levels where they drop the music. It's not a good idea. The music, Turrican's all about the music. So when you get rid of the music, you're just getting rid of the Turrican, aren't you? You're taking the Turrican out of the Turrican. I'm just trying to run to the end of the level because I'm hoping it's over here, but it's probably not. Where am I going? Death. It's a death hole. Right. I'm going to stop there. It's been a fun stream. Speedrun of Turrican, probably fun to watch. This isn't a speedrun. But yeah, I bet it's like, you can do it in 4 minutes. Probably not. Don't know. But there we go. That was another stream. I think I need to find some new games to play. I've got Oh No More Lemmings to play, but I'm saving that for a while. And then we'll try Oh No More Lemmings. I'm quite looking forward to that. Lemmings, as you can see, with the lemmings all over the place here. And I don't know what else there is to play on the Amiga. There's other stuff to play, other stuff to do. It's all fun. I love that. I approved this game. I wonder why. Turry 30? Yep. You definitely approve. Right, I think that is the end for everyone who made it this far. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your comments. And thanks for thanking about things. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for streaming. Good night. Yeah, excellent. It's been a good night. And if I plan these streams better, we'll know what to play. But whenever I don't know what to play, I just pick up Turrican. That's the thing. Mr. Odd, good night. Yes, good night. Right, okay. It's ending now. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to click the end button. And